Hello everyone and welcome to yet another live coding and chill. I'm your host, Johnny. We do these streams every Tuesday and Friday, and today we'll build a front-end quiz app. We'll be building an app where you take a front-end quiz, and we've done a lot of work already. You can go to bonusxp.dev if you want to click around yourself and take the quiz, because in the end we should have the answers up and the ability to actually go through the flow. So we did this last time. You can go to the front-end quiz, you get welcomed, and you can pick any one of those subjects, and then you get nothing. You kind of get like a random question and no ability to select an answer. My face is in there, but maybe you can see it now. In any case, we're gonna go through it further today. We'll be adding the ability to answer some questions. We still have the Figma design, so we're going through the process as if I would be doing this in real life. I'll have the Figma designs. Sadly, I don't have the ability to talk to the designer and tell them I don't want a separate button to submit the answer. I think the users would like it more if they just tap and move on to the next screen, or tap and get the feedback whether they got it correctly or incorrectly. And then they can debate saying, oh, but it's the anticipation, they're thinking about it, and then they commit, and then they get more excitement or more counter excitement, more disappointment, but happy disappointment when they get it wrong. I don't know. I would love to argue this with the designer, because my gut feeling is fewer steps are better. Why do more steps when few do trick? So don't have this button, just tap and move on to the next one. But I'm rambling already. We will be implementing all of this and hopefully make it to the last screen where you get a score and you see whether you've mastered the accessibility quiz or not, and you can play again and commit those answers to memory. And we do have a big agenda for today. We did do quite a lot of things last time. It's worth noting that we are kinda doing BDD for this, behavior-driven development. We have at least one test that's breaking before we start doing code, and then we iterate through the design, and then we write another test, and we'll even be doing tests to test for maximum accessibility. We'll be doing keyboard testing as well. We'll be doing lots of cool things. And we have, I guess I will show, hello Savi in the chat. I'm well, thank you. Hope you're well too. And sports, I love sports. Especially beach volleyball, which you can do in Barcelona, but maybe not in the cold. Something you may have noticed, but I'll show again, is that this is an Astro app, and I have set up view transitions with it. So you can see there is a bit of sliding in going on as we select a subject. And there is even the counter movement going on. If I use the browser back button or my keyboard, I'll switch to the desktop view so you can see it better. So this is an Astro app. I have set up view transitions their way. And you can see things coming in and out, popping in and out of existence. If you use the browser back button or you use keyboard navigation to go back, then you correctly have the page sliding in from the right or to the left, which is quite cool. And I'll leave it to taste and let me know in the chat if you like it more. We can have this label fly up to this place. And let's start with some code. Let's do like something fun here. So the goal is I select any one of these instead of having the header fly in. Then I want this to transition back up, because that's the cool thing about view transitions. This persistence is what really makes the app-like feel work. How you do that with Astro? I am on the front-end quiz index page, where I want to be. And here I can say it's this element, it's this list item that I want to have a special transition. So to break out from the slide transition that we have. And I'm going to give it a name for subject, but these names need to be unique per view. So very important. I'll be doing a video on this, not how to do it with Astro, but how to do it with SvelteKit, because SvelteKit is closer to the metal with this, closer to the API. So if you can do it with SvelteKit, you can do it elsewhere. You understand it better. But the idea is the same. You need a unique name per view for your transitions to work. or else they will just break. It will even break existing ones. So now we're going to say that the subject, we're going to use the subject name. So each one of those, if we were to inspect the DOM, they would each get a subject dash HTML, subject dash CSS, dash JavaScript, dash accessibility, and therefore the transition name will be unique. If we were to just do subject, we'll have 4 elements with the same transition name, and the browser would flip out. It wouldn't know which one is supposed to do the transition stuff, so all transitions would break. So don't do that. We can actually use the slug here. No real difference. In our case, like you can use any string. It doesn't matter if it has spaces or not. But we need to also tell the browser, all right, this one, what does it become if it goes to the next page? So we can go to our Slack page here and say that it is the H1 this time. And we can just copy like all of this line, because we'll say this H1 is related to the transition name subject as slug again, which we do have in this page too. So if we do that, you'll see that it lights up. Neat effect. If you're eagle-eyed enough, you'll see that the rest of the items don't slide in anymore. So if I'm coming in from here, these list items kind of crossfade in, which is the default transition, because the browser, since I haven't specified anything special for this animation, it will go to the defaults. And the defaults are, if the element is on the start page and the end page, it's gonna fly to the correct position and cross dissolve any differences like the background color. But if it's not on the page, it will just crossfade in and out. And since we've broken out of the sliding transition, that's what it's doing. We can work around it. We can make it fall back to the slide transition if we want, if it's the only child, but that's a bit too complicated for now. So I'm not going to do that. There's going to be a video on that in the future, I'm sure, if you let me know that this is interesting enough. So yeah, view transitions, I think they look cool. I think that it immediately makes this more professional. Right, so demo of the app, demo of the view transitions. I will talk about Astro a little bit. And the thing with Astro, it's great for content, it's great for the simple stuff and close to the HTML and vanilla JavaScript and CSS stuff, but it also promotes the front-end, micro front-end ideology, in which you can have little islands of interactivity. And I think that most people, when they use Astro and they have an app like this, they would make all of this already be an island of interactivity. And you can make that happen in Astro without a framework by using web components or something like that, or with a framework like Svelte, like React, like any one framework you want. And I would think that most people would make this part of the app already be micro frontend, use Svelte or whatever here, and use local storage to sync up the questions and the answers. But we're not going to do that. We're going to use closer to the web standards things like forms and cookies, and we'll see how that goes, because I'm figuring out Astro myself. And I think that's enough preamble for the day. Of course, it's not that islands of interactivity and like front-end JavaScript and all of that is bad. It's just that I do think that when you can get away with web standards like forms, submitted stuff, it's for the best, and it's stuff that's gonna be the same regardless of the framework you use. But my background like 20 years ago was PHP, so take that with a grain of salt. There's lots of people that love doing the joke about, oh, Next.js is making React be more like PHP and stuff. And of course, since I started with PHP, I love it. But it's just a joke. There are pros and cons. And I do think you can't argue with web standards anymore. The web standards in JavaScript keeps getting better year after year, like 20 years of maturity now. It's a good idea to adhere to the web standards. When the web standards are, here's web components, and all right, I'm not gonna badmouth web components. They've gotten enough, but there was a time when you may want to go against the web standards and the one JavaScript and all of that. But now there are lots of web standards that are sensible and you just try to follow. All right, I've preached and now I'm ready to code. make sure that people can listen. Let me know what you're working on. If you're working on something with me, alongside me, something completely different, if you're just chilling, always like to hear that stuff. And what we want is to make these questions appear. So first, I guess I can go to the terminal, or I can go to my tests here and prove that we have the front-end quiz test, the spec here, we can run it, it passes, and we'll want to introduce a new test here that fails. So for the front-end quiz, we're at the point where we've clicked our subject. So Playwright clicks JavaScript and then it sees this heading. We can see, I guess, this answer. We could test that we actually see this answer, this question, and then check whether we are seeing an answer as well. Apparently, the correct one here is 4.5 to 1. So let's do that, I guess. Let's say that there are also more points of contention. Initially, I would be doing these as buttons, but since I can't get to the design and I want a separate button for this, I will make this a field set of radio inputs. It's gonna look nice because, as always, I've re-watched the UI challenges and Adam here, who does amazing videos, and I'm gonna borrow this type of thing, or maybe like this type of thing, because the designer, again, I would be arguing with them because they want something cool for the answer. They want to show like the ABC and not the thing that people understand, the radios, and you select one. They want their own custom thing, and I'll probably lose that one battle. So we're gonna kind of steal the behavior from here, from these flavor profiles that Adam has created. Anyway, all that to say that I'm gonna be getting something by label, and the label should be like I'm gonna pick the correct answer, so it's gonna be 4.5 to 1. I think there is an easier way to copy the text. I can't find it, actually. Anyway, I'll figure it out. 4.5 to 1, can still type. And what I actually want to do is to check it. So now we expect an input field that says 4.5 to 1, and I should be able to check it. But of course, if I were to run the test, it wouldn't work. It would break. Can't find this label. And let's hard code this in quickly, and then we'll change things. Implement answers here. That looks reasonable. So I want an input of type it is getting colder here in Barcelona, so if I'm mistyping, my cold fingers have something to do with that. And I'm gonna nest this in a label as well. And the label is gonna have the answer of 4.5 to 1, was it? And now these are intrinsically linked, so if I click here, I should be able to check this. And I should be able to pass the test with test this. And indeed, it passes. So we can focus we select on design in the question page. And I've talked about button-based radius. I do think it would be easier if I just have buttons that people tap, but I am gonna be using some inputs there. And should I be hard coding this already? I guess. I am doing a challenge from Frontend Mentor, who have provided, it's an entity, who have provided the Figma designs as well as the spec that we're implementing today. And they have also provided a JSON file that includes all our subjects and even the answers, which I'll need to find shortly. But for now, let's just say that the answers are static. Just an array, answers, like possible answers. It's an array. Let's say that they have a label. They don't have whether they're correct or not. We'll be doing this on the backend. They have a value. Let's say value like A or whatever. And we'll do this 4 times, 3 to 1, 2.5, and 5 to 1. And here, instead of the one thing label, I'll have a field set, group all of these things together. And I'm going to be iterating through. So I'm going to be doing curly JavaScript. GitHub Copilot did try to help me, but sometimes it introduces a mistake. And since we're live, I'd rather talk about the things I'm doing instead of debugging mistakes. And so for each one of those, we can use the label that it has and the value that it has, and use a dynamic label here. And the CSX we return in, and the value is going to be the value. And I'm not sure if even on Astro you need keys for these. I'm not sure. I don't think you need to pass keys in Astro. But yeah, we've got all of these here. They are it's a radio, so why are they all selected? It needs to be in a radio group, which I thought that putting it in a field set would just make it work. Is the name... they don't have a name, of course. So the name should be the same. The name should be answer. So the moment the name is the same, then you can only select one because it knows, and you can use keyboard navigation to go through them. And it cycles through. If you keep pressing down, it just keeps going through. You can do left, right, up, down, doesn't matter. Great for accessibility. So that's sweet. Now, to make it look nice. And I think, like, I am gonna look at Adam's CSS nodes to make the radio disappear from the input. I guess that's the thing that we need to style. Maybe like Tailwind UI has something, but maybe I'm not gonna do that. Here, without button, custom button, color picker. So this one kind of has like a random thing, but not really the one we want. This one that just doesn't have like a visible server size. Server size 0. What's this? All right, we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna add like an appearance none or something, appearance 0, something somewhere. But this did remind me that we want a legend for this, for maximum accessibility, class only. Please select one answer. To the question, and then repeat the question here. And the question is, oh, I've hard-coded the question. So let's extract it here. Current question. Let's use this current question. And use it here. Of course, it's current question copy. Current question copy. And do we need to do copy? Maybe not. Second guessing the little details as always. So that copy, forget this ever happened. So if I do go in screen reader mode, for screen readers, it will repeat the question here. Again, like with this design on mobile, it's fine. Like you could kind of get away with this. It's not the best design because it has the stepper in the middle, but especially on the desktop design where the question is all the way over there, it's kind of hard to do, to have the legend be part of this left-hand part of the grid, let's say. So it's one of those cases where this looks great, but it's not the most accessible thing. If you were to do it accessible with the fewest elements possible and the fewest HTML possible, it would be hard to do, I would say that. So we'll just repeat the text. We'll just repeat the question for screen readers only. And we'll also add this prefix, like please select one answer to this question. Even though the question in this case does say, which of these color contrast radios do, like blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it's time to be inspired by our friend Adam's styles. So, the legend, we're not showing it in our case. The toggle, it says. It's a toggle. Grid area 1-to-1, I think that is important. It's how you do the stacking, I guess, with grid. So I guess the input itself, no appearance, no background, no border, no nothing. Fair enough. Keeping the size, keeping all of that, change the background color when it's checked. When this is checked, changes the color of the label. Interesting. When it's not checked and you hover, it changes the hover color. Fair enough. So I think this is how it's doing the styles for the whole tag list. So we just copy this over and see where we end up. Why not? Let's introduce the answer class and have a style block here and do all of these things. And the answer is going to be one of those. The gap, I guess we can like mix some tailwind here and say gap 4 just to keep things consistent. But for my editor to be happy visually, I will need to say that the lang of the style is post CSS. And it's going to be a bit happier with these directives. And so the cap is going to be this. Maximize size, let's say that we don't want anything. And yeah, we'll see which one of those we'll want. The legend, we're not showing at all. The toggle, I imagine, is this, but let's double check. Oh, it's the tag list and tag total. So the legend is separate and everything else is in a div. Interesting. Is that correctly? Oh, the input and the label are in the same level, not inside each other. Interesting. I guess for the stacking effect to work. So that's why. So this is actually a div, and this is a label. Then we'll need to do for. And we can name this like answer dash label to ensure this is unique in the DOM. Because we'll also need to give it input an ID in this case, which I never like to do. Just nesting inputs and labels is easier. It looks like we will need to do that for our purposes. And then the answer let's call it answer radio. Answer toggle. Call it answer toggle, why not? No shadow. We can apply shadow to be consistent. And it seems in the background like this, which I don't like. If it's checked, it has a different background, like the padding, all of that stuff. Padding block. I'll have a look at that. Block. Don't even know this CSS property. Interesting. I wonder what it said that. So you can pass in a style. I would think that's fine. Anyway, we'll check that out. Like anywhere you click on the label, it should be making it happen. I wonder if this gives it like some sort of invisible padding as well. Padding inline, that's another thing. Is it left to right? Ah, now I get it, of course. So it's just padding, but it's the universal name, so you can do more easily right to left, left to right, up and down, vertical writing as well. So that's really cool, but we won't use it now. Hello, Manas in the chat. My channel was recommended while using Amin Bagaria's stream. Great, I'll have a look at Amin. I'm all in on Amin. I don't know. Please stay for the jokes. There are more coming. What type of stream was that? Coding, Svelte, Astro, non-coding, gaming. It'd be cool to know. Right, so this is the X and Y padding, but done better. But we won't be doing vertical now, so I will just do, I guess, PY2, PY4. Inline. So inline, they want more padding. We'll check the designs later, I guess. And the background, they're making it be all white. I wonder what they're doing in the Figma designs. They're doing this, which is it? It's lighter than our regular surface. Let's just do background white and see how it looks. And around it, LZ is what I think this should be. So copy all of these things that have been added to the wrong place. And I think it's cursor pointer here. That's about it. 33 startups in 33 months. That's amazing. I mean, what a talent. All right, the input, no appearance, no background, border, inline size and block size, like width and height, essentially 100%. And for when it's checked, it wants the background color to be the link background color, I suppose. So let's make it just be it's black and white. Only things in life were as black and white. And if it's not checked, let's make it red and see if we did get something brewing here. Not quite. Did I name this answer toggle correctly? Yes. So we have this. It's not formatting as well, which is always suspicious. Feels like I will have a syntax error somewhere here. It's not formatting even on this, so what have I done wrong? Is it just the moment I do like lang possesses, is everything correct, but the moment I do lang possesses, it flips out? Oh yeah. Looks like that's the answer. Which is not great. So we have the answer, we have the legend. Each one of those has an answer toggle. Let's do the classic inspection here. Appearance none, blah blah blah. Great. So the label. Right, so it's like this sibling selector that sets the label background color. So let's see if I were to set like background color here. Red. All right, so it looks like it's gonna work. It's just that the sibling selector here for the text is not willing to work. So this part. So when the input is checked, so for the input, if I don't put in appearance background, we get like a gigantic radio, which is fine, but it's this checked. It's not quite working for us. Thank you, Manos, for the luck wishes. So when we haven't hidden this, yeah, it looks like the checked part works, but is it like not checked? Maybe something is in front and I can't click it now that it's invisible. Maybe that's the problem. When I don't hide the appearance here, do they never get checked? In the DOM, it doesn't look like they get checked, but surely they do. If I forget the sibling selector here and do background color black, does that change anything? So this is the problem, like we're trying to figure out whether this input is stacked, but it's not quite working. We are in the correct place. If we manage to do this, then we're good to go. We'll put this as blank post-it says for the colors to work. And we will want here. I can definitely target it, but the checked doesn't seem to work. Let's see, this is 50%. All right, so this becomes slightly different, sure. And if it's checked, can I do that the checked one is like bigger? All right, so the checked style does work, but it can't find the sibling label. Can't find the sibling label. And when there is focus and all of that, checkbox. It's just a button, we won't have these problems. It looks like it should be finding this. But is this even what we want to do? Not sure. Looks like it's doing something. But besides the label, we want to also display the value, really. Or maybe the label has two parts. They could be siblings. And sibling, surely, like we've seen it work for sure. You can see it working here. Sibling selector. We know that the field set will be a flex call type of thing. We know that. So just get unstuck and think of something different. I'm gonna try to design this a bit more. We know that these things are gonna look kind of like the lists here. So each one of these should look like these. The Excel, I guess. Border and blah blah blah, all of those things we have. copy them over. But he's putting these styles only on the label, I guess. So toggle display grid, and then the label is the one that's getting all these styles. So if I start adding classes here, what happens? Kinda works. And I want these to be full width. Is this full width? It is. So I do want... Or is it the form? It's the form that I want to have this flex call type of thing. And I want this to be block. Oh, sorry. It is the field set. And this is full width. So this one, I want it to be full width. Right. Kinda getting somewhere. And this should have a label that has all these styles, and just element have like for a exact sibling. Check it. We can say that this input has a peer. So we're getting there. Peer sect. Aria tagged. Yeah, it looks like it's the same thing. I don't know why that would work more, but we'll see. So let's see if we make this the peer and this do something different. If it's sect, is it gonna work? So this is the peer, and here do peer checked. It does feel like this would work. Doesn't quite. Oh. Peer sect. This is the peer. Sorry, this is revealing. Only previous siblings can be marked as peers. Whoa, is that our problem, that we need to be previously in the DOM? Yes. Oh, it's crazy. So I thought about this for a moment, but I wasn't sure. So the peer selector here, I guess, only works if this is previously in the DOM. Kinda makes sense. Right, so we can keep going with kinda tailwind styles here. Maybe on hover we do something cool. All right, that looks kinda decent. We'll make the colors happen, but first we want the labels to have two things: the actual text and the value. But the value, we're going to do something cool with it. But I guess this also means that I want to have this a flex column. Why is this lower? Unsure, but we'll figure it out. Let's see all the crazy stuff that we have here. If it's not checked, then maybe we want to do something. If it is checked, I think we'll do these with tailwind styles. This ever work? Seems like the answer is no. Alright, so maybe all of this stuff we will do inline because it just feels easier. Is surface purple a real thing? Guess it's not. Like I made this up, so that's why it's not working. All right. Now the peer thing works. Surface is not a real thing. Like we can do cyan 200. I think that's a real color. I mean, I could get it. It's just I wasn't using a real color. Even though I do use like very similar colors in across the projects. That's why I have the generic names. I keep forgetting them regardless. All right. So it feels like I can get away with not doing them here. And when it's not checked, but is focused, we can do something. So I may keep this. If I lose this, does anything happen? No. No. It looks like I can click anywhere, and this does nothing. The only thing that does something is the appearance none. Although even that one is like hidden. Yes. But we can add it here regardless. So if we were to remove the label, yeah, this does do something. So maybe we do want it's full and W full. Nah, even without them, you can click all the way. That's what I want to check. You can click them just fine even with this, so we're all good. No dead zones, great. What else do we have here? It's the grid area stuff. Stack them. Grid and grid shadow, you can do it here. It's grid area 1 1 something. -1. We won't need it in any case. Why are these kinda off? Is it because the padding is here? Nah, can't be. I think maybe it's just the font. It's doing letters and numbers differently. I can only imagine. Hello Marvin in the chat. How are you? We are at a railroad sized class here. Hey, so let me try to prove what I was saying about the numbers. Yeah, just the font that I'm using has like this weird thing where numbers like kind of fall off. Fair enough. And I can cycle through this, which is great. So I think now I do want some space in between the answers. Let's go to Figma designs. How much is this space in? Remember, we're doing the Figma code plugin, which does show some tailwind values here on the right, where you can see. Sorry. Is it seeing anything fun? Not really. Does this have like a margin? Not really. But this one is 1. What does 1 mean? Not sure. Gap 4. I think we made it the correct element. So if I did say gap 2, what I meant is gap 4. Maybe they're doing like gap 10 for the other one, for the other designs. So this looks like 10. What does 10 mean? It means 8. 2 means 8. It's twice as much. Makes sense. And even on this design, gap 8. All right. So yeah, we are doing MD8 elsewhere, so it's consistent. Alrighty then. And now we want these little elements. So this span, that may be kind of tricky, or not. So the class here is what? It's the the value of the question, the answer value. Really the label. And here we want, if the input is checked, then the label has a answer value, a background color, let's say red, see what happens. All right, kind of neat. So what we're actually going to apply is, what are we going to apply? Oh, this is where we're going to apply the surface accent one. And the padding for this is for this rectangle. Oh, doesn't say, you have to eyeball it. 3.5 rem. Normally it's white. I see. And the text of it is background color, I think. Text gray 500. Is that the color of this? I think so. So actually it has a surface color here. Accent one. No, brand. And it has specific width. We said it's like 3.5. 3.5 it says. When it's small. 3.5 still. So maybe 12 for the real thing. Yes, so. For certain positioning, would you do the place self, place items? All right, I think if there is a problem, it is that we want the text to be bigger. Text to Excel for this and this. Oh, text LZ looks fine, I guess. I do have weird display resolution, so it kind of looks fine, doesn't it? I guess the label is a bit further in. So wherever we added some padding here, I guess it should be P3. And I guess this is strong. unless all of them are bold. Font medium, to be specific. And apparently they are. Yeah, not a lot of a difference, but there is a difference. Sure. Oh. And yeah, so if this is checked, then X becomes white. Great. I'm getting somewhere. But also the border of the label becomes something. So if we nest this a bit, this should still work. But apply border surface extent 1. All right. But I think that the border is surely not just 1. It's border 2. All right, something is happening here. We can jump through these nicely. We have the focus outline, which can be nicer. Like the focus ring here. It's not ideal. Doing something like this here. I'm not sure if that's what we'd want. Maybe we want to remove the outline. But when we're focusing here, it's we automatically selected. So it's not the end of the word. So we can do that. I think it's this. Yeah. So looking good. Ugh, night mode should have prepared people for this. Where did we put the shadow? Need this, and I guess the shadow was looking kind of funky there. Wow, the original designs to look much better. Around it, let's see, or Excel was it? But I guess maybe we don't want these to have shadows, because the labels have shadows, and that's enough. Sure. All right, so we're working on dark mode. and we can double check what we can do for the other mode. But I think that's fine. I think that's reasonable. So on light mode, what happens? We can keep the same thing, I suppose, but I guess the background in these cases is gray. So the regular background for the labels when the labels are not tagged, what did I say it is? Surface brand 2. I guess that's fine. We will use the design colors in the end of this app. Now we're trying to make it on brand with the rest of bonus XP. And if it doesn't look too nice, then it's because I'm not a designer. What can you do? All right, so there are a few other states to go on here, but I guess that's after submitting the answer. We do have focus state too. So here, if you focus, they want us to do like a pale different surface here. Maybe that's when we bring in the other surface value. So let's go to our label. I think they just want us to do surface gray something 500. Easy gray 500. Looking at the Figma designs here. Slate 600. Oh no, sorry. This one is gray 500. So I suppose it should be slate 500. And only on hover. So it seems this. Wrong one. So we're talking about the little spans here. Those are the ones that should have this gray 500, not white. Wow. Is it really bitsy gray 500? No, it's slate 100. All lies. But when you select it, then it can be, or when you hover even, then it's kind of the on brand thingy. Surface accent. It's when you hover the parent. Surface accent 1. Is that like a real thing? Yeah. But it's when you hover the parent or the selection. I take that back. So in here, we're gonna say that the label, the whatever we call this, can I tell that I love CSS? Spend so much time on these things. Answer value. Then I want to apply kinda this. the surface extent 1 is going to be just slice 10, I guess. Maybe more. So if it's 90, how does it look? Like almost the same. Yeah, not too bad, I guess. And transitions would be neat. Would they just... So what's an answer? Yeah. All of these. And say gap 4 MD gap 8. And in this level, can we say transition colors? Guess not. Guess it's the label and the span. So the label and the span do I need a diamond function too? Oh, I guess the answer is yes. Can I add it to the top level and forget about everything? No. Fair enough. Anything else? I guess the text remains the same. The border is going to change when we have the check mark or the error. This also this also fails, so that's kind of interesting. That's not the end of our color shenanigans. In white mode, hello Raja, how are you doing? Wow, this is unreadable. Why is that? On this design, what are they doing? This is just some boring gray. So should we just do boring gray by default? I think it's the same boring gray for both modes. Yeah, let's just do that. So just call this slate 500. Yeah, works. Sweet. So I think we've done it. We will need to submit our answer, I suppose. And how would we do that? Let's have a sip of coffee first. We need our lovely action button. Here, so button. It's gonna say submit answer. But of course, let's go to our front-end quiz. It should still be passing our little test. Oh, it's not. Interesting. Very interesting. Is it that the label is too complicated? I assume I can click it so I can test it like that. So it's saying that each label is intercepting the pointer event. So that's fair enough. Can I check this? I guess the answer is yes. And then I want to get viral button. It's the name of submit answer. And I want to click that button, and then I expect to see, like, sadly there is like no information for you did well or you failed or you succeeded. There is just like, I guess your answer becomes green or red, which is something. We may try to look for that visual feedback, but for now, let's just say that then we expect the other button to come in, the next question button. And that should get us a lot of the way there. But not yet. So no breakpoint. Just run this. We'll quickly do it so we can add it here. This is hanging a little bit. Perfect time to get another sip of coffee. Wow, an hour in, and we'll get to the fun stuff. So with a front-end framework, you'll be doing stuff with local storage. Most probably you'll have maybe all the users' answers in local storage, and that's what you use to derive whether you're showing question 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and when they click the button, you'll put this in local storage, and so the next question. But now I'm thinking we'll do it with Astro forms, which should be fun. And this was saying that the server wasn't working, but I imagine this was just a weird coincidence. Indeed, the problem is that we don't get to the next question thing. So we can actually design a bit more, design that button. This guy. Oh, specific width and heights. Why do they do that? Why do they do that? So I think a lot of the things that the label has, the button will have. So let's copy these classes. But it doesn't need flex, doesn't need cursor pointer, it will have it already. On this, rounded sir, border, nah. No border. Background, I guess a different background. Accent 1. P3, sir, text, font medium. I think it's the same as this, so consistent here. Text 3XL versus text LZ. I think in other places we do that empty text to Excel. So let's keep doing that. So I already have it here. Do I have it here? yeah. Oh, we've done everything. It does look bigger. Yeah, it's right there in the end. Font, shadow, transition colors, sure. No need for more gap. We have this thing. Great. I guess we can make it block. I guess we can make it full width. Yeah. And I guess even this form can be flex column with gap 4, that becomes gap 8. And on hover, they want us to do something here. I think they were showing this design on hover. This becomes lighter. And I think we can use a filter for that and make it cheap. Do it cheaply. So it can be like hover brightness 150 or something. Kind of an easy way to do it. Hover effect. Can you transition filters though? Yes, you can. With transition, custom attribute, filter. All right. Did this really not work without the dressing? I guess the answer is yes, but I'm so surprised. All right. And on this mode, whoa. Oh well, not too bad. Do we need the same direction? Probably. Keep things consistent. Alright, so this shouldn't do anything because one of them is required. And radio, do you have to make everyone required? Radio group required. So just put them on anyone. Can put in just one, but I guess for free we'll put them on all of them. And then we get like select one of them, select this one, and then it would submit, which is what we want. Awesome. But then we want something to happen so we can actually get our new button here, our next question button, and we do want like the feedback that you got it correctly or not. But how are we going to do that? Probably with forms, with Astro forms. So do they have like a form thingy here? Maybe not. Let me open this page again about cookies. And what am I thinking? I'm thinking that I'll have a cookie that has all the answers for this person. That would be fun. That could be fun. And the way we do that apparently is this. Well, with the cookie helper. But what exactly will this look like? So if we have front-end quiz subject, can namespace this with a slug, I guess. But we get the slug later, so let's do it later. After the redirect, let's say. It's a classic where this is not clever enough to know that this is the same thing. So this is our answers cookie. Our answers is answers cookie JSON. I think they have a helper like this. And answers can start as an empty array, I suppose. And at some point, we should know which page we're on. Or we could just go to the same page. Not sure. Unclear. I'm not sure whether I want to make the person go to like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like this. Not sure. I think we'll get view transitions for free, like this. So not sure, but I can store all the answers here. Then I can double check whether they were correct. I guess this is the time to decide whether that's the way I want to go. And do I have like a JSON with all the questions? I'll need to find it, because it must be somewhere. Don't know what I pressed. It's not good. I pressed it again. Did they change the shortcut? I just want to split this like this, and then maybe I have Frontend Mentor. This I can open the code editor, and in here we should have this data.json file that has all the questions per subject. And hey, they have the icon right here. And I also call it quizzes, which may be a better name. I don't think we ship all of these things to the client. Let's double check. Get this back in front. So where do we use the subjects? We use the subjects here, and we do iterate through all of them, but that's it. I think it's gonna get ignored even if we add them in. So in the subjects here, we can have like questions for each one. And did I pick all the questions for HTML? I did. And oh wow. Oh, not well. I thought they had like HTML that I would need to render, but the answer is no. Cool. So each of the questions has the actual question and the answer. So not the order. So interesting. I'm not sure if I like this. It has all the options that you can select, and then it says which answer it is. So that's not nice. I guess this could be like a UL, fancy UL. I don't like that. This could be based on the index as well. This could be a list item decoration, is what I'm trying to say. An ordered list item decoration, the ABCD. But that's just silly, let's be honest. So I'm not sure if I like this. I should have seen this before. Anyway, let's copy them. I guess if you do have the answer like this, it does make it more possible to a bit easier to shuffle the answers, and then you just see if you add the correct one, or if you want to have like a text input or something. But I don't know. Don't quite know. So JavaScript questions here. That's a big question. And accessibility is the last one we want. Which one of these tools can help in checking the accessibility of the website? Option E, AxLinter. Cool. So we've done, we've added our hard-coded questions and answers that we're gonna pick soon. And now, like the thing with having the answer be hard-coded here is that if you change the copy, then you can't really get it. So do I really go through like 50 questions and answers and say like A is A or whatever? Especially when they're like so close, like you can mess it up quite easily. But okay, I don't want this to be an answer index. That's what I'm trying to say. I may do it like offline later in a later episode. But first, let's do this kind of refactoring and say that this page, which is in like slug, it should actually be slug question number in brackets. And let's put all of this here. I don't want to do any changes, any too clever changes. And get the subjects from here. And I think the only other thing that I will need to do is the href becomes slug1. So if I'm on this website, I can go to the play section, frontend quiz, what's up? Whoa. Whoa. Oh, did I not save? Frontend quiz, JavaScript. Alright, I made it again. And then, now you can see in the URL, we're in question 1, and that's how I'm gonna pick this instead of being hard-coded. I will take a small break to check up on my doggo, and I'll be right back. Dog status, best girl in the world, nothing to worry about. So we can go back to development. We're gonna make this dynamic now. We've been hard coding this for a while, but now we're gonna say we want to get to the first JavaScript question, and we can even check whether we can see this question 1 from 10. And I guess I can even do it here. I can even do something kind of cool and do like a recording. Let's copy this page. And we can go to test and click to record new at cursor. To do some code then. If we make it here, this question. Oh. I want to check this get by text. I guess I could have done this, but hey, that's what I want to do. Sometimes you don't remember the selector, so you have to do it like this. It helps to do it like this. So I want to see that we have a question 1 from 10 and expect this, not click it. I want this to be visible. So we want question 1 from 10 to be visible. And we can check the whole text similarly. So the first question is, which syntax is correct? And then we want to select this, and won't even make it to the next question button yet. We'll prove that we're not hard coding things anymore first. So from the Astro props, the Astro params, we have the slug, and we'll have question number. And then, if no subject, redirect. And then current question will actually be subject questions, question number, this. And I can parse it for this. Oh, it could be undefined, they say. So current question is this. We're gonna get it here. We're gonna do a similar thing and redirect again. No current question. We're gonna do something clever with answers momentarily. I'm not gonna do anything now. Current question number is actually what we got from the params. Total questions is always 10. Or I guess we could check subject questions length. And in here, it's going to be current question. Whoa. It is an array. What's its problem? Shouldn't be a problem. Current question never. Oh, if no current question, we don't return. Sorry. And current question we're going to use here. Current question number. That's the question number now. so we do actually need to parse this. Question number. Question number string. Could be undefined, I guess. So let's do it here. It's gonna be this -1, and then we can use the question number here in the stepper. Great. Select one answer to a question, and the possible answers, we're not gonna have them hard-coded. No need for that. We will find them in current question options map, and I guess they only have a value, right? Yeah, it's standard strings. But then it's I guess we can use the index. Not great. Okay. Use an index. And that shouldn't be the value. So we should create a map of like index letter or something. So the value should be this. That's correct. And what am I thinking here? What did I do here? This is the value. This is something different. This is the index to letter. Is there like a clever way to do this? Index to letter, number to ABC, letter, JavaScript. It's the real thing. Oh boy. Is this a real thing? Is this true? We're gonna find out. It is true. This is dynamic. So if I did like +2 here, goes B, C, D, E. It's kind of crazy. Learn something today. But we did do something weird. Question. No, we want this here, and here we want the question number. Question 1 from 10. We see this. We see the question, and we have a few answers that we can tap select or keyboard navigate between. Nice. I'll get the inspector up so it's a bit easier to not highlight things with my face. My question is, do the tests pass now? Oh, it resolved to 2 elements, sure. But that should be fine. Is there a get all by text? It also resolved, I guess, to the hidden one. The legend. But it should be screen reader only, so not sure. Can I pass an option for this? Right, exact match. Would that make it work? Yeah, because the other one we're prefixing with like, please do this. So that's nice. Tests are passing. Now we want to do something to get to changing this button to get us to the next question. So Astro forms, they say. In the docs, we can see that we can check for the request method here, and I think that's all we need. They're doing some validation, which we won't care about. But they do have like this errors object, I guess, that they're mutating, which we may copy. We may be inspired by. Right. So if you're doing a post in this page, then we want to do some stuff. We want to get the answer. Yeah, but then we're storing like big strings in the cookie, which I really don't want to do. But hey. And we want this form to have a method of post. I guess we can say whether it was correct or not. That's something. So in here, we can do answers. Push, whether it's correct. Like correct or wrong. Or true or false, I guess. Doesn't really matter. And we can check whether you've answered the scoring question by checking the length of the array. But we won't remember what you selected, sadly. We can do the answer index again. The thing is that we do have the questions here. Have the correct questions. Answer? Yeah. So if correct is whether the current question answer is the answer you gave us, which kind of makes sense, and then we can push whether you got it correct or not. But I'd rather like push the index. So how would I do it with the data I have now? So I do want the value of this to be the index. So I want to find the correct answer index. Current question has options, and I want to find index indeed. Where the option is current question answer. And then whether you got it correct, or does that really don't matter? I guess we can do this check later. Answer index is this, and we can push answer index. And we also want to push whether it's correct or not. So yeah, we do want to do this. So the correct answer index, is it the answer it gave us? And we can do a check to see whether it's not true. Say we can bring in Zod here to do the schema validation. So if this is not a string, we can throw, so we can safely parse it afterwards. And is correct is this, and we can push. So what does our cookie look like? Can be just an array, I guess. See that the question number. They selected the answer index, and is correct, or was correct. Did they get it right? And I do want to set Astro cookies. Thank you, Copilot. Max age can be like 1 year. This is 1 minute, 1 hour, 1 day, 1 week, 1 year. So here in seconds is this. Path can be anywhere. And all right, so we can set this, and that's it, not return a response. And here, so let's remove this for just a moment. So this will style nicely. And this has mutated my answers. Which should be fine. So maybe I want to check here. Just different copy. So if answers what do we call it? Question number. But actually, here in the cookie, I do want to set. Do I need to stringify this, or will Astro do it for me? I think it will do it for me. So question number -1 because it's index. And here indeed, I want to do question number -1. If that's the case, then I want to display next question. All right, so if my calculations are correct, we can select any one of these. And if we click this button, we should set a cookie that will make it so the button will change into a next question button. Bam, actually worked. And let's look at what we put in cookies. Oh, did we put object? Whoops. But wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. I guess it's a string, isn't it? If we remove the cookie, we're back to this. So Astro cookies set this thing. We do want to taste and stringify the answers. And cookie key we can extract to this because we use it in 3 places now, and we're gonna want to change it at some point and forget. All right, so select D, click. We have something here that I guess is an array that's escaped. So that looks fine, and if we refresh, we still see next question, so that looks like it worked. So yeah, I think we're kind of good. All that remains is to actually show some UI. Like, you shouldn't be able to change your selection here. Should make them disabled. So if we make this disabled, if we have that cookie, here, let's declare the type. So is that what we did? Select it and it's correct. Or TypeScript knows. So an answer is this, and this is an array of answers. Oh, number. And What happened here? Selected number is correct boolean, not an array. Come on. All right, so we should be fine now. And are these disabled? Not. Here, we want to say that exists, true or else false. It looks like we can do nothing, but maybe actually, like all of this field set can have a pointer events none type of situation. So answer is answer index. No. Question number -1. Then I want pointer events none or else nothing. So now, no matter what I do, it's nothing. But checked can be this. So now it's remembered what I did before and I cannot select any other one. Great. So delete the cookie. Let's replay that. I can play with this form. I can put it on the big screen. Some fun with that. Play. What does CSS stand for? What does it stand thing? It's kind of funny that styles is like, you definitely know this, but you know, cascading, maybe you don't know that. So we can select this, and then it kind of bumps us up to the top, which I don't like. But even if we refresh the page, it's gonna remember our selection, and that's where I guess we want to show some indication that we got it correctly, and if we didn't get it correctly, some indication that we got it incorrectly and the correct answer was actually C. So that's the next thing to do. But does that mean that we've made it to like clicking the next question? We did. Great. So we've managed this, and we do have keyboard animation, keyboard role unlocked. We can prove it with S later. But here we can select the button, and we can select one of these. And then nothing happens. Great. Cool. This should get us to the next question, which should be easy. I guess we can do that. Like moving on to the next question. Should we quickly do this before the UI? Let's do it. So after we click the next question button, we expect question 2 from 10. And the second question is, who knows what? How do we call a function named my function? This is like the setup to a joke. So we want this to be the question and be visible, and then we'll be happy. This doesn't happen now. But we may fix that quickly. I also realized that I guess at this point, this is not a button. So actually, our itinerary may need to be higher up. Because we'll be rendering a button if we haven't submitted an answer. But if we have submitted an answer, we'll be rendering a link. Maybe we can do that like somewhere else actually. No, the itinerary is valid. And in this case, we do know we don't want to check again. This button will have the copy submit answer. But in the other case, this will be an anchor. We'll have href, and it's gonna be play frontend quiz slug, and then question number +1. So that should get us to the next question. We should remove this. And this anchor center, I guess we'll do it. That's what they want in the designs, if I remember correctly. Yeah. All right. So that's neat. Let's see if we've managed to magically fix the test, fulfill the spec. Ah, it's not the button anymore, it's the link. Which is good semantics. The user will know that this will get you to a different page, for sure. Save and retry. Yeah, we did it. We passed the test. And indeed, if we click next question, see the next question. Now that's neat, isn't it? I do get a bit upset that we scroll back up. So, is there like something here in Astro? Going back restores the scroll position, which is neat. But form submission scrolls me to the top, which I don't want. Do they have a form? We may need to debug this offline, thinking about it. We'll see. It is indeed annoying because, well, even on this screen, like I'm forced to scroll down to click next question, and it doesn't look that bad, I guess. But especially when I submit the answer, it just gets me to the top of the page. And I imagine there will be something here. If they don't have it in like the forms. I don't have anything about scrolling here, so I'm not convinced we'll find something. It's not like we're erroring out. This will still work great. Submit the answer, just submit it, but it jumps up. It's not great experience. So we'll need to figure it out. So submitting the answer is kind of silly. Maybe that's where you'd need the island of interactivity. But going to the next one is kind of neat, I'd say. Like this is the part that's annoying. And nothing on the internet regarding this. Try saving on local stores. Oh no. Too old. Yeah, I'm not gonna spend too much time on this. We have better things to do, including the visualization of whether you got it correct or not. So, what are we gonna do here? We want a better border when you've gotten it correct, but only when you've answered. So let's see. Should we have a data class? A data correct? And we want this to be this. Want to be true, or else if data correct. Which two levels of this. If we have this, then we want to check if they've selected correctly, and then we do true or false, or else it's undefined. And our stepper is kind of neat here. Yeah, I don't like the form submission. We may do an event handler here because it's bothering me. But the input, if it's checked, the label is this. If it's not checked, then the label is this other thing. But data is correct. Where did we put the is correct? In the input, surely. Apply. Is it just on the label that we do stuff? No. So we can apply BG white. Not do anything. Data theme equals something. Data is correct equals true. Data is correct equals, where did we put this? In the input. Nice. And we're checking to see if we have an answer. If we do have an answer, we check and put either true or false. This selector should be checking whether the input has a data is correct true here. And then doing stuff to its other label. Oh, it did. So just needed a weird refresh. All right. So that's kind of neat. What do they actually want us to do? Figma, get it closer. They want us to change the border. So border, is there like a green 400 or whatever? Is something else winning the specificity word? Or border 4. It's doing border 4, but it looks like the color is not winning. Ah, that is correct. There's also the checked thing, so does this have like higher specificity? I guess. If we do like important here. And it is gonna change color. Indeed, it says that this has higher specificity. So that's good to know. What color is this even? Have like a style guide or something. Style guide. The style. Oh, these are the colors here. Whoops. But they only have it for light mode. It's like dark mode. You figured out. Maybe it's the same. So we could have like a success color. Maybe that makes makes sense. But how would we handle the specificity? We can handle it like so. Not important anymore. And not data is correct. When it doesn't have this attribute, that's when I want these styles. Sure. So for a different question, like here, they still get the styles when I select, but here where I've answered, and they don't get the styles. Great. And when it has data is correct, false, border red or something. Did I get any question wrong? I guess so. And checked. Oh, maybe that was like enough. Specificity actually. They randomly select all the correct answers. It's the fig caption, so I'm gonna do description. Yeah, doesn't look like it's correct. Aria. No, I'm second guessing myself. I just can't miss. Right, let's do something here. Let's delete our cookies. Hypertext markup leveler. That's definitely not correct. Okay, so what's happening? Let's inspect this element. This, no, I can't select it anymore. Whoops. But it's this element, and the input has a checked true, data is correct true, but it should have a data is correct false. Oh, of course, I shouldn't be checking whether I selected this. Like, I know I selected this. But this also has like a correct, right? Is correct. Yeah, that was it. Done. So, and I guess I can just use this. It'll be fine. If I turn it into a string like so. Cool. So now we can look more seriously what they want here. I guess it may be a good idea for the whole app to have styles for this. like a success color. We could have different ones for light and dark mode, but we'll see. And I guess it's this. And let's say it's the same for dark. And error color light. It's this. Usually for dark mode you can punch up the saturation, but we'll see. Let's group these two together, here, because they are the same for now. But maybe I'll make them different soon. And for light mode, I want to say this color are this. Too much. And for dark mode, again, they are the same, but I may change them soon. And go to Tailwind and say that actually I have a success color. And an error color. So now, if we go to our question number and apply this, and you may have seen that this became a deeper red. And next question, correct structure. HTML should be at the top, and then I guess the head, and then, whoa, what's happened here? HTML, head, body, correct. Got him. So nice green, on brand. Yeah. We want the icon too, don't we? So do we have SVGs here? Is it SVGs in this project? They are. Success, error. I think those two are the ones we want to steal. So let's get in there. Do they show what happens in the designs when it's like a long question, a long answer rather? Not really. They dodged that problem. Cowards. Right, so we have some icons, I guess, somewhere. Oh. Yeah, so we have those icons. We can turn them into Astro components. call this error icon. And no with height, no with height. And I guess they're at the end somehow. Oh, this becomes kind of chunkier. It's kind of funny, kind of fun. This is telling me that I cannot record more. I guess I don't have any disk space. Hopefully the stream is still going on, but I will need to stop soon. So let's just like quickly delete something. Like on air. That helped a bit. Right, so what were we doing? We are in this element. And like I wouldn't do it with CSS or not. And we want to see if it's checked, or do we not? Yeah, so that's kind of interesting. We don't know which answer is the correct one. It's not great. So which one should we show? Should everyone have those icons? Let's do it like that for now and see. So error icon or success correct icon. And import this. Is that where this lives? It's in components, play, frontend, quiz, icons, correct icon. It was correct, just we need to say that these are Astro components, of course. And what are we doing, like other tricks? I guess not. Sure. So we always render it now. And I guess if we were to pass it a class, it wouldn't do anything, because we also want, I swear we did like this little script tag, but I guess not. We're doing class name anywhere. Let's do it here. Fenced blocks. All right. So how big should it be? In here it's like W8. In here it's W10. In here it's also W10. Yeah. In our index, W8, D, W10. Correct icon is always gonna have text success. All right. looks like it should be quite bigger. But I'm not gonna argue with design. Oh well. But now the thing is, we only want to display it when they have success or error. So let's do the error icon too. We need to do the same thing we did here. We can copy all of this. Error icon to pass in the class. We can do this. So now they're nicely there. But I guess maybe a fast way to do it is that by default we can give them a class of hidden. So both of them start as hidden, and only if they're checked and data is correct is false. Let's say SVG apply not block, like inline block or something. And we are in the other case, aren't we? We restart the server as well real quick. Because sometimes still Windows flip out. Let's double check what we got here. So in this form we have a field set. The first element we have selected has an input and has a label. This label has span, and SVG. And on this one we're applying hidden, which gives it display none, and we want to override it and say display block. But I guess this has less specificity. It is checked and it has data is correct, and then the label has an SVG, and we should be applying this. Important check. And we don't seem to be finding this. Why not? Let's call them success icon and error icon anyway. Give them these class names. And in the label, it's like success icon. And let's say display block. In the error icon, say this. They are inside the label, aren't they? Label, we have these guys. That even work? Yeah, if we manage to apply this. it would work. We are managing to apply border success, so we are there. Did I name this like incorrectly? I do want to restart for safety, just in case. Manually remove the hidden, of course, it's gonna kind of work. And it is gonna press the elements as well, so not sure if I want to do this. But that's by the by. When the input is checked, we are applying this. More specificity. More. Why is this never applied? I don't get it. And if it's not checked, what do I do? Here I say SVG display hidden. What happens? Nothing. And because they are inside the label. Do I need the end? Right, so this hits them, sure. And in this case, I were to say it's still not overridden. Didn't actually do anything. So yeah, how do I get these SVGs? Let's see. Let's just say error icon. Display none. How can it not work? Is it because of this? This doesn't make sense to me. So this older SVC has an error icon thing, and yet is it like an Astro thing, like something weird, but it's not reading this style? Like, it feels like that's the case. Bit of a weird case. I would want to move on. I am passing this class. It is rendering this class, but it just doesn't get it. Is it because it's an SVG? I guess. Like if I were to say global, error icon. Yeah, so somehow it doesn't do the local scoping for this element. Maybe because it's in a different component, so it doesn't really know what's happening. But then, well, I'm not sure. I was gonna mess around with like the Delumin classes and stuff, but hey, not really worth it. So we'll keep them not here for now and come back to this. We also want to change the color of this. Should be fun enough. Or more fun even. So instead of SVG, we also want to find the span that actually has the answer value. And apply some things. And those things are busy surface success. BC success, rather. And next, white, I suppose. Super white. But we've made a mistake. Here, so checked and false. We want the error value to be BG error. Cool, kinda neat. And I think that's it. Instead, the after would be the SVG or something weird. Please select an answer, like if we fail validation. We'll do that one day, not today. And yeah, the one you didn't select, it does have the check. But that's fine. I just don't want to do checks all over the place. They're like, oh, did you answer this? Yes. And if you did answer it, then do that. It just feels a bit silly. And yet, can I find the correct answer? So here, you've already answered this. Then we can do the correct icon here. Or else the error icon. I got inspired to find a decent solution. The keyboard disagrees. Turned off and on again. It worked. So if you've already answered and maybe not, and what? And you are the selected one. So let's just do that. And answers. So only saw the UI for the one you answered. That should be fine, I guess. And maybe this can be like absolute positioned. We can do that. So it looks fine. The thing is, this is like a huge ternary, but it's here where we're rendering nothing. We should be checking, is this the actual correct answer? But I don't feel like we should be doing too much. Yeah. I'll probably do this offline. Because what do we need to do? Keyboard navigation, we have done that actually. We have moved to the next question. We actually did quite a bit. And we do have transitions as well, which is quite cool. But the second is that we bounce up at the end of the form. So we may do something else to enhance the form. Not sure. Not sure. But does this mean we can kind of go all the way, actually, suddenly? Yeah, so this is not ideal. It's not ideal indeed. Now that I feel like we can go all the way, I feel a bit better with horsing around and staying in rabbit holes. So now, if we don't do that positioning, I guess this is more acceptable. I guess. even though it would jump when you after you've selected it. It's fine. It's fine. Guess we could be reserving this space, but we don't want to. Something for the future. So we can actually make it all the way to the results page, I suppose. Can we like view transition second? Can we transition this? The stepper. How does Astro not know? Just cross dissolves, which is kind of lame. What if I put it here? Stepper bar. Ah, now we're talking. Looks kind of nice. What if I remove this? Yeah, you kind of need both, I guess. It does flicker sometimes, but I think overall it looks nice. Cool. So, kind of neat trick, neat transition here. Could you transition only the number? Would that be too crazy? This fragment one. Nothing is the answer. The other question is answer X from Y. Where do we do that? In the subtle text. Everything else, a transition should stay, but this kind of weird. Not bad. Can I do the same? Some stats. Doesn't do anything. Can it do the magic here? Keyboard is flipping out. Yeah, not too bad, but I think we're kind of doing too much here. So I'm not going to do that. Just because you can do your transitions doesn't mean you should do them all the time. They're fun to play around. All right, so last screen. Let's have a look full screen too. Play CSS. Oh, I remember. I apply set to all P elements. There you go. And at some point, I guess instead of next question, it should go to finish quiz. And which they don't have like a design for. Like get the results. Next question becomes get the results. Which sounds about right. The problem is with my happy path test, will I actually need to answer a million questions? I guess so. But submit answer and then different behavior is the one that's killing us, that's for sure. So to answer any question, we need to do these three things. Which is fair enough. Check just once. All right, so we can say at this point that const answer and go is this, and we want to do like these three things and actually use the answer here. And actually do this. Does it still pass? I think so. Oof, I hope they're not quickie problems. It's it's Copilot. Like it saves the quotes. Thankfully, I had it pasted. All right. So, alert hello world is the first one, and we just want to keep doing this. The second one should be a function, and then it should be, how do you write an if statement? It's not Ruby, so it's not this. You need more parentheses. Gonna need more parentheses, my friend. Oh, and they don't have strict equality here. That's sad. because why expose people to like not strict equality? Just tell them, just keep showing them strict equality. Just do this. So they're not like, why does this have like only 2 instead of 3? Why are you teaching them for loops? I don't know. Ah, this one. Why is there no space in it? Like for everything, I have like a question. I'll just go here. Let's leave a single line comment. Start copying them here. Feels it will be safer. Mouse copy. We're almost there. This is the happy path. You write it once and then you're happy. All right, all done. But on this one, I guess we don't want to answer and go. Because these 2 things should happen. But then it should be show results or something. Should be show results. So do we make it that far? One of the answers is a bit dodgy, I guess. Let's do exact. True. They're so similar, even Playwright can't select them. How far did it make it? Hopefully it made it all the way to show results. So something up to the 4. And let's comment this for now. Ugh. Hopefully it's this. All right, made it all the way. trying to see retain here. On. So I'm doing this so we can have a look at Playwright and see how it runs the tests. Should be kind of fun. So test results, let's see, what did we get? Faster than any human. Interesting. Like the overflow is a bit dodgy. Which browser is this? Chromium. Let's have a look at mobile Safari as well. It looks a bit better. 4 seconds to answer all the questions. It looks decent. The bounciness is something that I don't like. But hey. The header. What's the Z index here? So like or something. Maybe that would help. But what we really want is where we have the buttons to maybe first check here. I guess you need another ternary. Do we have like total questions? Then we don't have an anchor to the next question. What we do have is show results, and we go to slug results. So let's make it all the way. Keep answering. Oh, yeah, I remember this. Correct way to write a JavaScript object. It's hard to say. Like they're using var as well, which upsets me more than it should. I think these are curlies. Like either the first one or second one is curlies. Ah, yeah. So this one has like this has colons, which is correct. This one has equal signs in there. So results 404. But here, I guess we can uncomment this. Our test should still pass, even though we get a 404 page. Been 3 hours in, I think we'll save the last page and plus some refactors for the form bounce and stuff for next time. Play again would clear our cookies and get us back to the first page, or I guess, not sure. It should get us here, and then, like when we get here, we can have the cookies cleared. Not sure. You can show badges if they've selected one. That'd be like fun. If they've already done one here, you can have like the tick again. Or if they did 10 out of 10, you could have a crown or something like that. That'd be neat. but it's very similar to our index page. Quiz completed, you scored this much, and then you have like the out of 10, and we can make a count. Oh, and this appears twice, just to reinforce it. I guess we can do it kinda quickly. So, new route. Or the spec. What do we usually do? At the end, let's say answer final question. And say expect heading quiz complete. That's what they wanted. Quiz completed. And we kind of want to copy this index page, then slug completed folder or results. Results is more fun. Index of Astro and everything we have on this page. Let's see. Can get this from here. Can we not? Guess not. These ones we definitely can. But I guess we'll need some inspiration for getting the current subject. And we probably don't need to pre-render this one. No question number. I need to redo this. 404. We can find the subject. And we can say, what did we say here? What's our meta looking like? Completed, blah, blah, blah. Name quiz. All right, and here. This goes to the top like in the other page, I guess. But here we say quiz completed, you scored. Dot to dot. No subtle text. So results. All right, we made it here. Great. And I guess this still remains the header. This is just a div and we just have a button, I suppose. So forget this. Yeah, this is just a div for section. And inside, yes, it does have the header of the subject again. Is it accent one? Surface accent. Hello. 1. Alright, we're getting somewhere. And then we want the button we were using, which we'll be doing more with cookies eventually, but not now. And we want the anchor from anywhere at bottom. Can refactor this into a component so we have consistent icons without copying these classes wholesale. It would be a good idea. Play again. And it just goes to play Frontend quiz, and you can select something else. Play another quiz. And it feels like rounded Excel. That's what we should have here. I guess that's like a different type of thing. So round 1, round 2, yeah, feels more correct. And this has 3 things. We can find the title somewhere. If the H1 is this. And wait a minute. Just here. Did I not destructure these things? Yes, the answer is no. Oof, pasted it in the wrong spot. Oops. Copy this. And the results page is where I want to paste this. Here. We're getting there. But we're gonna reuse this yet again. So we should make it its own component at some point. This would be H2 now, because it's less important. The important thing is that you completed your quiz. Could be just a div, I suppose. And where I say hello, let's call. I'm sure it has some padding. P8. bigger designs. Select B12. And we have like a huge number, the biggest number you've ever seen. Still a real thing, 9 Excel. Oh, yes it is. Now sample text. Doing yes, this is also task one medium. I see. Let it be thicker. So that's about right. No extra margin on this. And now we just need to calculate how many you got correct. And we're golden. We may want to redirect. We may want to do quickie stuff. So here and the results. Quickie stuff. Quickie is gonna be this. We can do an else. Redirect there, correct? Copilot came in class. Yes, we can do the opposite, like redirect and then get it out of nesting. Let's say that the answer is this, and then correct answers. What does an answer look like? Looks like this. Can I pass something here? It's not. Total answers this. And in here we want to say whoa. So what did that filter do? Oh no, I don't want to filter, I want to like reduce. And we can say if no to answer, if what? If no answers quickie. And then again, if answers quickie answers length is not equal subject questions length and also redirect. So a few gotchas there to make sure you didn't game the system and come here and see like 3 out of 3. And here we want to reduce, we have the accumulator, and then we have is correct. And we start at 0. And we want to say return the accumulator plus is correct, plus 1 or plus 0. You got 5 out of 10. Nailed it. And this gap is a bit suspect. Oh. So what's that about? You got how many? This many. I guess this has no gap whatsoever. But this one should have some. 4. So in before here, and 10. Knowing build gap here. So in the smaller screens, looks like much less. Oh, just 1. Right, looks decent to me. Doesn't look like this ever changes, just from here to here. Supposedly, maybe the line height is different. Right, so can we get Playwright to see 10 out of 10? At the end, roll test. We make it all the way there. Do we see 10 in the end? Nice. So even Playwright takes a while to do. So you can imagine if you are making a small change and then you want to test everything by yourself with your own eyeballs clicking around, that's going to take you ages. So even it may feel like a lot of work to do this sense, if it's a real project that you are gonna be iterating on, it will save you time very quickly. But I do wonder, these are broken up in divs, so I'm not sure if Playwright will be able to catch this. Let's find out. Serious now. So we can break it out. Yes. Maybe if it's in the same div and their spans, it would work. But I think I will finish it up like this for today. Yeah, it passes. We can see it passing in other devices as well. We can do a bit more, like check the error states and stuff. I'll provide an error state, provide the correct answer, because now we don't. That's not great. But we did a lot. Didn't leave any console logs either. I think we did pretty good. So allow test all the way to the end. Commit everything, push, and I'll merge quickly after the stream, so you can have a go, you can play. This silly quiz, not endorsed by me. Maybe I will change the questions and the answers, so I'm happier with what they cover. Which forward is used to change the font of an element? Yay. So yeah, this is jumping around. I'm not sure if there's something in Astro to fix this, because I guess it's actually doing a form submission and this is not an enhanced form. So this could be the time to bring in a front-end framework just to do the event handling. Or I guess this could be... The way we're doing cookies, I'm not sure if this could be possible or not, but I'll think about it offline. How do you make each word in a text start with a capital letter? Font transform, capitalize. Text transform, uppercase. Text transform, capitalize. And we do have the keyboard navigation as well, that you can hear my clicky keyboard. You can press enter and bam, submit it. You can go to the next person. The transitions look cool, I guess. Although the problem is that we do lose the focus when the form submits. We do lose the scroll position, so I guess that's my biggest problem. And kinda glitzy here, I don't think anybody would mind. It's neat, it's cool. How do you select an element with a class name header? Classes, select with dots. And yeah, this two-step select and go, I don't like it. What's the default value of the position property? Position, oh. It's something you never set because it's the default position, so it should be static. I needed to think about it for a while because I never set it. What's the purpose of the z-index property in CSS? To count the number of elements, to set the magnification level of an element, to specify the stack order of an element, to create a zoom effect. Nice. So results. Good. We did well. Play again. Just go here. And I guess we don't clear the cookie, so you can see, you can just see your own answers. But you can go here. You can go to another test and make it there. I guess click into a test that you haven't finished could get you to to the last question, to the first question you haven't answered, rather. And as I said, you could have like a medal or something if we know that you've completed test. And we could have like a button here to clear the cookies and say, retry this test or something. Are you sure you want to lose your progress? That'd be fun. But this is it for today. Let me know what you'd like me to do on Friday, which is going to be our next episode. Maybe I'll pick up this again. Maybe it's going to be something new. I'll be working hard on a video as well on view transitions with Svelte, because there's a follow-up that I want to do. I want to do the list to hero animation that everyone loves. I love it. Much better than this. And yeah, that's about it for today. I hope you've had nice weeks, even though the best is yet to come. Wednesday is coming up. On Friday, it's gonna be awesome. Thanks a bunch.